Warning: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as a criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All people are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I reserve my First Amendment rights to express myself. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing today? Please, please, if you can hear me, let me know. Put a one in the chat. Welcome, Rainbow Tasha. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, actually, breaking they have identified the shooter. So yes, we are going to be talking about that. His name is Rex Rowley. So we'll get into that. That is just came out not too long ago. So they have identified the shooter. Welcome, Locked In. Welcome, Rest in Peace. Welcome, Locked. Welcome, Locked. So now I'm getting. I have to figure out whether Rest in Peace and Locked, right? Okay, I'm the blue butterfly. So yes, today, and actually, I'm glad that Miss Rainbow had brought this to my attention early in the morning because I was actually in a meeting yesterday when apparently this whole thing went down. So, um, if y'all guys know, I'm also a travel planner, so my family members are going on a trip. So, and yeah, we met up after church and we had a meeting, and then after all that, came home and just kind of took it easy and went to bed. And like went to bed, and then I wake up to this. I'm like, oh my goodness. So, yes, yes. So let's go ahead and just kind of jump in because I know everybody's kind of wondering what is going on. Literally, this just happened yesterday around 1:20. So y'all haven't heard, Idaho, there was a fire in Idaho. Um, and obviously Idaho is a very mountain area, so the fires was spreading quickly. And once the fire department showed up, they were being shot out. So we came to the conclusion that it was probably an ambush, things like that. So we'll just kind of get into it. Firefighters did lose their lives during um, this ordeal. So let's kind of catch us up. We're kind of go over some of the timeline, see what really happened. And like I said, they just announced the identity of the shooter. So we'll just kind of get through it because actually they were thinking it was somebody else. So that was part of the so we'll just go with how the way people's minds work and things like that. Uh, so sorry, it's just more information are coming up on the shooter. Okay. Okay, so let's just start from the very beginning. Let's just kind of see. Let me share this screen with you guys. Trying to find the actual story that I wanted to do. There was one with the timeline. Okay, so let's start with this one. Again, this is just a timeline and breakdown of kind of like what happened. Um, so obviously, it started at 1:21. The county sheriff's office received a call reporting a fire on the east side of Canfield Mountain and North. Again, this is in Idaho. It is strictly mountains, and we'll kind of see a few pictures of exactly um, where it's at. It was in the Panhandle of Idaho, and it's not like I think about 30 something miles from Spokane. So it is literally all woods up there. So fire crews responded to the scene. So at 1:21, that's when they received a call. Um, the sheriff's office received a call about the fire. Firefighters at 2 o'clock. Firefighters on Custer Mountain report they were being shot at. So you can hear there's video that I was able to find where it shows you can hear the firefighters the call to and so the firefighter basically called saying we're being shot at, we need backup kind of thing, we need help, you know. And then within the next 90 minutes, law enforcement agencies responded to assist the firefighters while the fire continued to burn. Around 300 law enforcement officers and everybody were pretty much multiple agencies, including the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, Spokane Police, Courier de Alene Police Department. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it sounded right. The FBI and neighboring Idaho counties converged on the scene. Officers exchanged gunfire with the suspect during this period. At this time, they still didn't know if it was more than one person and things like that. So they're basically just trying to control the situation, control the gunman, and trying to get the situation under control. Norris at the White House, FBI, government, Brad Little, and other officials offered assistance. Around 6:30 p.m. at a command post briefing, agencies were told the situation remained an active shooter scenario and suspect needed to be neutralized. So still for about 4 or 5 hours later, they still hadn't found the shooter. The shooter was still in the immediate area, so they pretty much locked down the whole they put everything on lock. There was a no-fly zone at I believe at this point. But authorities learned the suspect okay, yeah. They put a no-fly zone, so they weren't allowing any other, agencies, firefighters and things like that to, come in to help, kind of, control the fire before they were able to, catch the shooter. So, basically, they weren't allowing assistance to put out the fire. Their main focus was to catch the shooter, to make sure the area was safe before allowing more firefighters, police department, anything like that to put their lives in any more immediate danger than what they need to. Around 7:40 PM, authorities learned the suspect was dead after tracking a cell phone signal to the same location it had been since 3:16 PM. On arriving, investigators found a deceased male with a weapon nearby. The body was viewed as fire and couched on the area, so preliminary findings indicate the man was the sole shooter. So they didn't find anybody else. They ended up finding this individual, you know, unalived. And again, they don't know if it was maybe at this point, they don't know if um, his death was caused by one of the police departments while they were actively shooting and engaged when they were engaged with the shooter, or if maybe he was able to find that location, kind of get to rest, kind of get there and maybe he just took his life. So there we really don't know at this time whether if he took his life or was it a wound, during the cause of the basically the shootout that they had going on. Yes. It is very crazy. Again, 2 firefighters know, um, have, um, have been officially, deemed, you know, confirmed dead, during this time. Let's see. Let's see what the video. I'm gonna get out the video. That's why I had this up. Come on, make it bigger. I wonder if it's gonna let me. Oh, you know what? I don't think it's gonna allow me to play sound from this one. Okay, I'll find it. It's not that it's so easy to find. Um, do, 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 do. Oh, okay. Sorry. See, when you're looking for things, I got sidetracked. Can't do that. Okay. Let me look it up this way. Because like when you push in the Idaho shooter, like all this, I was like, right here. This one. Trying to figure out because making sure it's the same video. And then right now they're saying 12 minutes ago, Idaho governor orders that flags fly at half staff to honor the fallen firefighters. Idaho Brad Little. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at right there. There, everybody's flying their flags half staff. So if you have a flag out in your yard, and it please fly it at half staff to honor the fallen firefighters. 2 firefighters were killed and one was injured after responding to a brush fire on Canfield Mountain, which authorities believe was intentionally set by a suspect who then opened fire on the responding firefighters. So 2 are pronounced dead and 1 injured. I believe he was in the hospital. So let me go ahead and share this video. Yay, got it on. Make sure I go back.
We are actively taking sniper fire as we speak. This is an active situation. So at approximately 1:21 p.m. this afternoon, we received reports of a fire on the east side of Canfield Mountain. Fire assets responded to the scene, and at approximately 2 p.m. this afternoon, it was reported that firefighters were receiving shots fired at them.
Some law enforcement right now, there's an active shooter zone. They're shot. BC3's down, BC1's down. Everybody's shot up here. Law enforcement, code 3 now up here.
We have an unknown amount of casualties. We still have civilians that are coming off of that mountain. We might have civilians that are stuck or in shock on that mountain. So this is a very, very fresh situation.
Yeah, that's so scary. Can you imagine being called? That is your job. You get called out to do your job, and then turn around and be something that you're not expecting. Um, Again, they're stating that they were ambushed. The fire was purposely started to obviously have firefighters or rescuers to come out and for them to become the target. Um, at that time, they didn't know for sure the motive behind it, who was behind it, who the shooter was, and things like that. Over time, over the last couple hours, they were able to figure that out. And in this location, naturally occurring wildflowers are totally uncommon. Um, on Cattail Mountain, local outdoors officials said the authorities believe the suspects set the fire intentionally in order to lure fire crews to the area. And so one of the slain firefighters worked with the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department, and the other worked with the Kootenai County Fire Department, and the injured firefighter um, obviously was injured was in the hospital was also for the Kootenai County. I don't believe I'm saying these right, but if I'm not, I apologize. Hey, rest in peace. Welcome back. Welcome back. So yes, and again, the Idaho Panhandle is known for its rugged outdoors, natural forests, and diverse wildlife. So again, very rare that this things like this happen in the area. Um, so that's why initially their first assumption was that it was an ambush. And then later on, as then they've ended up finding the suspect dead. At that time, they still didn't know what caused the death, whether it was the shooter between the shooter and the law enforcement, or if the shooter decided to take his own life. At that time, they didn't know, and we still haven't. I don't think they confirmed his cause of death yet either. Let's see. And then I'm gonna show you this because as the internet got wind of the story, things started freaking out. Thank you, rest in peace. Thank you. Yes, very devastating. Um, I at first when I thought it, they said it was an um, at first they thought it was an arsonist. And then then it came to an ambush, and then it was just kind of like, then that's when the internet kind of started, doing what they do, dig up, put their own little theories on it. I'm not gonna say conspiracy theories, but their theory on it. Everybody's got to have their theory, right? Um, so let's go ahead and share this. They actually thought it was another fellow by the name of Travis Decker. And this is unfortunate because it's not Travis Decker. They already came out just a few months ago in the name of identifying the shooter. So now we know it's not him, but the internet did kind of go wild and said it was this Travis Decker. Um, Thanks, Temper. Thank you, Temper. Hopefully everything is well. So, and then they kind of go, Travis Dicker is could this be him? Because um, as if y'all guys don't know, I'll kind of give you a backstory on this. This was a gentleman who law enforcement, FBI, he's on, I don't know, whatever. Law enforcement had been searching for him. He apparently his truck was found with his 3 daughters, deceased, and he was gone. And so I think he's military, he's veteran based, so he has military training. He took off into the woods. They were looking at, that was like the last place. So everybody was kind of coming up with their theories like, could this be him? Or could it be? He hasn't been found, so we can't confirm whether he's still alive or not. We can't confirm whether he's still in the area or not. So, everybody, has their theories, and this was one of them. But and in all sense, this was a sad story, Um, here, it says in between their statement, Catias County Sheriff. So this was just right before these fires, June 23rd. So this fire just happened yesterday. This was a little less than a week before the fires. Catitas County Sheriff's Office said that although they are trying to find and arrest him after he disappeared into the forest, the chances of the survival are grim. The 33-year-old has been wanted since June 2nd, so he's actually been missing since June 2nd. So spending that many days in the woods, that's why they're saying it's far fetched for him to still be alive, but he does have training, so he may have been able to survive in those kind of situations for a temporary period of time and then move on, or um, basically nature will take its course. Thank you, Rainbow. So, and then of course, this was since he has been wanted since June 2nd after an officer found his truck with the bodies of his daughter. At this time, there is no certain evidence that Decker remains alive or in this area. Seemingly strong early leads gave way to less convincing clues over the last 2 weeks of searching. Still, we can't and won't quit search. So they're still looking for him, but this is kind of why everybody was leaning towards him. Social media buzz around Decker. So and it just basically brought awareness to an older case, and which obviously this case does need to bring, some type of awareness. I mean, geez, you found 3 of his children in the truck and you don't know what this dude is. Okay, so let's just do it like that. We'll get into that. Maybe I'm gonna get into that story. So so everybody's just kind of showing their support. So now we know. Go here. So like I said just a few minutes ago, authorities identified the suspect. Investigators have confirmed the identity of the suspect found dead on Canfield Mountain on Sunday as a 20-year-old Wes Rowley, according to a law enforcement official. The suspect was found dead on the mountain by, I believe it was SWAT. And the suspect is typically the only shooter involved in the deadly ambush of the firefighters in Idaho on Sunday, investigators said. Rowley is believed to have started a brush fire before shooting at responding firefighters, the County Sheriff said. 2 killed, 1 injured while the fire is still burning. The blaze prompted firefighters to respond has scorched about 26 acres with no structure damage. So this is all woods. This is all woods. Officials said, can you believe how pretty that place must have been before this happened? Okay, sorry, just that's so disappointing. Like, how long we're gonna have, like, how long it's gonna take to replace the damage that they have done as far as rebuilding the life, trees, grass, animal life, like, geez. residents were advised to be prepared should further action need to be taken. So they haven't really had to have evacuate any cities or local areas or anything like that. So at least not yet, but they're keeping a lookout. And so let's go on and let's see if we can find out who Wes Rowley is. And so when I first heard about this, I was like, okay, arsonist, and then they were like, okay, criminal. I can't believe they come into it. This sounds like a Criminal Minds episode, like an arsonist, like leading just people in. And I was like, but there's got to be some type of motive. It's not just always just an arsonist. There's yes, we have arsonists, but very few. There's always got to be some type of motive. And I was like, it's more than likely going to be a terrorism person, kind of thing, like where terrorist. I mean, come on, with everything else going on in the world right now, I mean, what else am I supposed to think? So, uh, so kind of like go, and then, like I said, they just identified the body, like right. I mean, the person, the shooter, right before I was coming on live. Like, I don't understand. Like, I've already had this plan since this morning. Once she told me to do my research, I did my research. So, again, I haven't been able to really dig on who Russ Rowley is, but he was actually born in Russia. Here's what we need to know. Russ Rowley is the suspect in the fatal ambush shooting of two firefighters in the Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Unverified reports claim Rowley was born in Russia. So these have unverified. So I wouldn't take it a whole to account, but I wouldn't be surprised because this was my initial thought when, like, everything was going on. I was like, "Okay, it could just be arsonist," but you're telling me you have the FBI, SWAT, and all these other people there. I'm like, seems a little bit more than just an arsonist." So, anyway, an armored police vehicle leaves an area where multiple firefighters were attacked when responding to a fire in the capital area outside of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Wes Rowley, a 20-year-old, has been identified as the suspect in the fatal ambush shooting of two firefighters. Authorities report that Rowley allegedly set a fire on Castle Mountain to lure the firefighters before opening fire. The motive remains unverified. Social media reports claim Rowley was born in Russia and later lived in several U.S. states, including Florida, New York, and Arizona. I don't know, but when I think of, like, places where most things happen, Florida, New York, and Arizona are usually one of the ones, but and California, but okay. Before relocating to Idaho to work for his father's company. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to research him. All these posts cite the Associated Press as the source, but the original AP reports do not mention these details, particularly Rowley's alleged Russian birthplace. As such, this information remains unverified at this time. So who knows? Neither confirm or deny that he was born in Russia. Again, we're uncovering this thing together, guys. We are. We are. So what has happened, it seems like in less than 24 hours, this person, for whatever reason, because we don't have a motive yet, um, set a fire up in the woods of Idaho, very deep, deep Idaho panhandle. You know, the panhandle, if you look on the map, it's literally 1 to 2 fingers wide. So imagine, you know, put it into perspective real life. So all that woods and forest and trees and grasslands, animals, just things I can do that. And that was another thing. We don't know what he I mean, my only assumption that was his his intention was to lure something out. That's the only reason why he was even in the woods was to intentionally start that fire and lure the workers he want. I'm sure he wasn't aiming at any specific person as long as they were part of the fire department of any sort. Again, I don't think it was really, you know, his I don't think he was really focused on a single person. It's not like, "Oh, well, you know, I don't like this person and he's a firefighter, so I'm hoping I call him out." You know what I mean? And get him out of this area. Because one, you don't even know unless he did something he might I mean, it could be. I mean, it could have been targeted at a specific firefighter. We don't know. I don't know if those firefighters had any kinda link to him. Again, that's at least their investigation, but, um, that those would be I mean, there's only several reasons. Either 1, you're going after a specific person, 2, you're going after the government, terrorists. I mean, those are the only 2 options. Either or 3, you're just completely insane and crazy, and you just lost your marbles, and you don't even know that you're still in reality land and your mind's not in reality. So, you're just insane. So yeah, unfortunately, I I would hope it's not a terrorist thing, but again, with everything going on, um, and again, we can't take, with this with the grain of salt that Wes Rowley is from or was born in Russia. Again, we don't know how long he was in Russia. Just because you're born in Russia doesn't mean you have ties to Russia. Like, he could have left when he was 6 months old and not even, have any information or knowledge of what Russia is really about. Again, we don't know who his family is. Obviously, his dad has some type of company in Idaho there. So I feel like you know, these official cops, you know, FBI, you know, I believe that they have, quite a bit on their hands because I don't think this is just gonna be I don't think no 20-year-old just said, "Hey, you know what? For fun, let me just go into the woods and start a fire and shoot these firefighters." I really don't I really don't think that that was going through his head, um, at the time. So, I really think let me see if I could bring up a picture of mm, 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 mm. I mean, you can see all the pictures right here, but mm, I wanted to see if it showed, like, the picture of Panhandle. I usually do maps. I'm a very smart. Mm, but, but y'all see. Again, this is very tragic. Today, please, if y'all do have a flag, um, fly staff in honor of the 2 firefighters who did, lose their lives in this. Again, he was only mm, so yes. But yes. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, share. Our way of spreading the news, spreading the shooter was rolling. Um, I will keep up to date. I kinda do wanna follow this because I have a feeling it's it's political based. Um, when when they target people, I mean, it's not like he's targeting a s like I said, a specific person. He's targeting firefighters and government. I have a feeling it's political, it's terrorism, and it's communist, and that is my opinion, guys. Again, I don't have all the information. I'm just going based off of what is being reported from the media and what's going on, on social media platforms, trying to dig out what can be truth and what can be facts. That's why when I brought up the other guy, I kind of it wasn't going to be him, but I kind of wanted to let you guys know, like, the internet's already they're already trying to come up with their own investigation and their own tools. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be bad if it's gonna be during the investigation itself. But, at this point, it didn't look like it was much, it didn't take much water take off much water, so which is a good thing. They were able to identify that person really quick. How they were able to identify him, sure. Again, I'll go back and read up some more articles. It was, like, literally, I was getting ready to click live, and then I read that, and I was like, "Oh, wait, give me 5 more minutes, guys." And so, wanted to quickly see if he was, you know, from here or not, kinda kinda go from there. But, um but yeah, I would just kinda just be careful, like, these people are crazy, but again, we just gotta look out for things like this. With the way the world is, it could we have our own issues, and then let's add and political agenda to it, and it's gonna get out of hand. So again, I just want to bring this information. Thank you to Rainbow Nation for bringing it to my attention. This is very, very sad, and I'm pretty sure within the next couple of days they'll have their services for these firefighters and things like that. Just show your support. Um, keep their family and the whole city in your prayers. Make sure they're covered. You cover them with blessings. And, uh, 20 years old is very young. I mean, 20, like there. That's why I kind of want to know who his like. This is gonna take a lot of digging into who his family is, where was he actually born in Russia, what kind of ties he has to Russia, what kind of ties his family still has to Russia. Um, Again, because I was just actually looking at a video, thanks to, and again, it was one of Sarah Field's, video. I'm gonna try to find it real quick. Dude, just sign me in. Jeez. And it was sad because I mean, it's kinda true, and when you look at it, you're like, "Dang, like, it's never gonna end," kind of let's see, where is it? I was like, "She just put it up." Oh, and also they approved, Carmelo Anthony's, paperwork for court appointed lawyer, just so you guys know, a quick update. But I know I wanna see this video. Let me just go to her page because it's okay, here it is. Let me share this here. She's a very good reporter as well. Um, and I just kind of like the tagline. It says, "Islam is a religion, and what their God, Islam's Allah, requires you to send your son to die for Him. Christianity is a faith in which God sent His Son Jesus to die for you." So I guess it just kind of shows you like the way. I mean, their their mind of thoughts, basically, and how they perceive things differently than how certain other people perceive things differently. I'm not saying I'm part of any of these religions or anything like that, but just kind of seeing things from a different point of view. You know, they think, um, sacrificing their child is, what you're supposed to do, and in Christianity, that it's not sacrifice. There's only need to sacrifice one. There's no need to sacrifice a bunch, kind of thing. Things like that. So it's just a point of view and how you look at things, and again, religion. So, but I just thought it was kind of going on this whole terrorism thing and things like that. That when you're offering these type of things, you're it just seems like there's never going to be any type of end to wars and things like that. Especially I know wars happen over time. World War One, World War Two years ago, but Desert Storm years ago, 9/11 years ago. So, I mean, but still, I mean, if we continue to think the way we think, it's never gonna get better, but that's kind of the way this type that way you kinda guys see what I'm saying about this. So
Martyrdom is a hugely important concept here in the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're currently at an event where hundreds of women hold their babies into the air to show that they're willing to offer their children as martyrs for God and for Imam Hussein. All of that goes back to the legendary Battle of Karbala, where Imam Hussein held his baby into the air, asking the enemy that was besieging Karbala to give the baby water, and instead the enemy killed the baby. Now, there's nothing more glorious here than dying as a martyr. And of course, right now, that concept takes on an even more important meaning as Iran is involved in this massive struggle with Israel and the United States.
We want to show them we are not scared of anything, she says, and will support our state until they are destroyed. And she says they need to know that Imam Hussein is our everything, and we should sacrifice our lives for Imam Hussein. This is a symbol saluting Imam Hussein, she says, who's the leader of all the oppressed who stand against oppressors and don't submit.
And just to show how big this is in Iran right now, the crowd here was chanting "Death to America, Death to Israel," and there was even a children's choir that was singing songs as videos were shown of Iran's missile program in action against Israel, and of course also when the Trump administration carried out those strikes against Iranian nuclear installations. In total, right now, as this conflict is taking place, all of this extremely important to the folks here. Fred, play.
and so, um, but yeah, so ambush, arsonist, or terrorist, whichever Idaho this happened to be, regardless, it's devastation. Nobody should have to die for a view of opinion or whatever. Or just plain arsonist, like this dude could have just been psycho, crazy, and lost his marbles. I mean, again, they just identified who the shooter was, so I'm sure they're going to be doing background checks. Um, it's just the background, RJSM. It's just the background. I am not in the middle of the street. Um, so because I have kids jumping up in the back and things like that. So, but anyway, But yeah, so again, yesterday was so devastating, unfortunately. Like I said, I was in the meeting and I completely so to come out and know that within less than within a 10 like 10-hour period, you know, a 20-year-old was able to set fire, have firefighters come out, ambush them, able to shoot them, um, leave to the woods, somehow pass away, SWAT finds them, they take them out of the woods due to the increasing fire, and overnight apparently was able to identify who the shooter was. Of course, they're only saying that he acted alone. There's no, um, and so I mean, it almost did apparently from what uh, the some of the police were saying, officers were saying that they quickly once they were able to locate him, they quickly had to remove him from from the forest or the woods because that fire was, expanding so quickly that it was either that or they were gonna lose all their evidence and the shooter themselves, and, that's not what we need to happen, we need that body so we can figure out who, what, when, where, and why. So it was really critical that they got that body out of there. Again, they didn't see anybody else. I don't think there was any reports of a second or third or any more shooters than that one. Um, according to we were able to hear the firefighters, in distress at the time when they were asking for backup. So it's just an unfortunate situation that this has happened again. The first thing is to find out the motive and why, and in order to do that, they're gonna have to look into the family. And like they said, it has been spreading again. It has not been confirmed, but there are mentions that he is from Russia. He was born in Russia. I should say he's from Russia. I don't know how long he was in Russia before moving to the States, and he lived in 3 different states, New York, Florida, and, um, Idaho, and what was the other one? But yeah, it's so unfortunate, and again, he's still 20 years old. He's not even old enough to drink. So, but yes, Wes Rowley is his name. Again, that will be my first step as far investigating this type of ordeal. One was to identify who the suspect was, and to know who the suspect was, confirm with his family, and then get with the family and basically get some background information on this poor child. Again, we don't know if the family was a part of it either. So that is something that very critical case that they're going to need to very, very deal with in a specific type of way. This is not just any kind of shooting on the street or things like that. It's, again, an ambush geared towards government officials. In this case, firefighters. And he's 20 years old. So what in the world could this world have shown? U.S. have done to him. In his short lifetime for him to be that upset. Usually I would wanna say typically they would be older because these are older gentlemen who have built up resentment over time, and, no, I don't believe the really did fight back, but again, um, they're asking that you fly your flags staff for today in honor of those fallen firefighters. Um, I'm sure they're going to come out with an announcement on, further arrangements on their funeral and things like that. So I will kind of keep up to date with that. And I do kind of want to follow up with who this risk really, especially since that was my first gut instinct. It's not just an arsonist. I mean, and then to say that there's never any fires around there, never this, like, I'm just like, just reading that, you don't need to tell me, or he was born in Russia, like, even with all that without all that information, you don't have to be born in another country or be from another country to be a terrorist. You really don't. So, I'm just like, yeah, let's just say it's an arsonist, but, like, this wasn't, like, in the backyard in a garage, like, trying to set, a specific person or being on fire, like, no, like, he lured these people out into the woods. Just I'm sure that I mean, this is completely, like, I've already seen it on it's like, I'm sure he was trying to replay, like, some type of video or like, "Ooh, that looks cool, let me do it," I wanna know who this person is now. I really wanna know who this person is because it just raises so many questions. It's not a your typical arsonist fire. Just 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 think about it. Just think. So, yeah, so thank you, Rainbow, for bringing that to my attention because now we were able to identify who the shooter was, get a name, um, if anybody else can give us any information on Mr. Wes Rowley, because let me see if I can show you the picture, though. So if you see on the stream, that is where the whole thing took place. Oh, what? Off my thing. Um, so you can see it's way up there, and if you look at it, it's green all around. It is literally green all around that dot. Like, you can Can you hear me now? Can you put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me? Don't go over there. I did take off the video because my kids popped up though. Am I? But okay. But yes, I did wanted to. I was trying to show you the video. I mean, not the videos. They were just pictures. So I wanted you to see the pictures of like all the the cop cars, the they had SWAT, FBI, cops from all over from Idaho and Washington. They had fire departments from Idaho and Washington and the local surrounding counties and areas. So they had over 300 plus um, government officials working out there working. Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on there? Um, but I think my kids already had enough of TV time. So, but anyway, I did kind of want to go over that with you guys. I will keep up to date on to see who this shooter was because I am actually really curious to see who the shooter is, especially if he's 20 years old. I really think there's more to the story. And if there is more to the story, I'm sure they're going to try to keep it from us. So we'll see. If it's hard for me to get information, about future information, you pretty much know it's going to be hush hush, kept under. There's going to be something involved with the government. If not, they'll release the information. I'll be able to share it with you. But again, that's usually how it works. I kind of caught on. I'm like, oh, so there's really is more to the story. You just don't want us to know. That's why I can't find anything. Y'all just didn't stop reporting because there was something to report. It's just y'all just don't want us to know. So I will do my best to dig, and see what I can find in regards to this shooter. And again, I'll keep update once I know about any kind of if they're having their the funeral arrangements and things like that. Keep you up to date. Yes, there's always more to the story. Always more to the story. Just like all the other stories I have been reporting, like I said, with the Carmelo Anthony and everything else. So there's a lot to uncover with these types of cases, and we will get through them. And apparently, I think today's like the last day for the PD trial too. So I have no clue what's going on after the first couple of days. That's been too much for me. So now I know it's coming to a close. So I just kind of want to know what's really going to happen. Um, anytime, and thank you for bringing it to my attention. Like I said, I completely was in a meeting, and I probably wouldn't have realized this until I was on like around 9 o'clock myself. So I woke up and saw your message. I was like, oh, let me start researching this now. So and get you to this. And it just so happened that they released the name at the same time I was coming on. So it was good that y'all were able to get the whole story plus the identity of the shooter all at the same time in one video. And I really don't like bringing you a little bit of details here, a little bit of details here, do like 5 videos on the same, a little bit of details on the same story. So I just need to get it all in one group and give you the story. So all in one piece. But again, like now all these extra functions, I'm gonna keep up with with the boy and with Rest and Carmelo. I'm gonna keep up with him and hopefully he's never gonna end. But his case may end, but the whole cluster of that mess is never gonna end. So we'll keep following updates on certain things and going. Just to kind of give you a heads up, I my event in June. Remember, I said it was canceled because of the rain and stuff like that. We did able to secure another date, same location, just a different date. It's coming up here on the 19th of July. Um, since we're heading into a new month, we will also be focusing on the elderly abuse, so we'll add in the rest of the July information, which is domestic violence and I think mental health awareness. If I'm not mistaken. I know it's definitely domestic violence, and I believe it's mental health, and so we'll put those in with the elderly. We'll continue to focus on the abuse situations, um, and try to bring you stories mixed in with all this other stuff I'm trying to bring to you guys for your interest. And then so the 19th, definitely want to get we'll have that event at the Reno Schnitzel here in San Antonio. Reno Schnitzel. So I don't know if y'all ever eaten there, if y'all enjoy it. It is a fast food chain restaurant. So we, you know, I don't know how many locations they have. I don't work for them, so I'm not trying to advertise for them. But if you would go, we go. But I am apparently I am advertising right now. But anyway, we'll be there. It's a Saturday, July. Oh my goodness, your tablet died. Okay, I'll charge you in a second. Okay, thank you. And so, what was it? So yes, that movie July 19th is still the same time between 2 and 5. Still planning on doing some of the same stuff. Trying to add in more extras to have a little bit more time to get it together. And then, so yes, also, if you want to donate, your QR code in the corner that'll take you to the PayPal. You can donate real quick, or you can Cash App to the organization with the lifestyles, or just go down to the link below and you'll find all my information there. You could send a donation. You can view my you could chat with me there. You can send me an email from there, and you can view me on all my other platforms from there. So yeah, that will be the place to go if you want to ever. Also, if you're not able to donate financially, please like, share, and subscribe this video. It is a free way, and I enjoy all chatting with all of you. And let's see, is there anything else? So again, so the event was still be, titled "Break the Silence, Break the Cycle." Um, so we'll continue with that throughout the rest of this month as well. Um, Anything else? I pretty much that is about it for today. Um, I did want to bring you that breaking news about the Idaho fire. Thank you again, Rainbow Tation, for the description. I'm always open for more ideas. If y'all know of any other stories, please either comment me, email me, whatever, and I'll do my best to look into it and get you the information that you are seeking. Um, Other than that, I appreciate all of you. I am gonna go. Uh, is say I gotta prep for dinner because I didn't take out the meat yet. It's frozen. So yeah, I just made things a little bit more difficult for myself, but it's okay. Other than that, and then I still gotta do the whole packing for my family that I'm working on top of it. So yes, I'm a very busy person. So again, if y'all are local here in Texas, San Antonio, nearby, New Braunfels, Orlando area, any of that area within the surrounding district, surrounding cities, I am always looking for volunteers for my organization. I would love to have people out there when I'm doing these events. It'll make it fun and not so boring, not just me talk to everybody. Um, so yes, I was currently looking for a DJ. If y'all know of a DJ who's willing to volunteer, it'll be free advertisement for them. Um, I just need a little, if not, I'll take my own radio, you know, keep me happy. But I think it'll be nice to have somebody there, play a little music. We all little chat with everybody and, free advertisement for them. And, this will be, a good fundraising event for the organization. Again, I do have my store up. Let me share the link so I can share with you guys. I'm starting to create some for the Dish and Tea with D show. as well, and not just for the organization. But if you do order a dish, you would be sure that does go to the organization anyway. It's just supporting the show as well. So again, for this is the website. As you can tell, you could tap right here while you're watching my live at the same time. The website, as you can tell, you could live. You will see here while you're able to tap right here. Be able to donate right here. The website, as you can tell, you could live. You will see here while you're able to tap right here. Be able to, then if you go down and star, I don't know if you're listening to this, but if you go down to the able to tap right here. Then if you go down and star, I don't know if you're listening to myself. I know right now you're with then if you go down the so yeah, I definitely want to go there. I know right now you're with let me take the other one that book right there. And then as you can tell, this is the store. We do have summer things up. We have swimming trunks for the boys, and there should be bathing suits for the girls. And then we do have the shirts, with the back tank tops. We do have the cups. Some of the products, like this cup and some other, I think it's the book, they will have the QR code. So if they're ever about and they have my merchandise, they see somebody that that's interested, they can always donate from any of the from the merchandise itself. I don't have it on all the merchandise because that'll look retarded with a QR code on the flip. But at least I think so. But other than that, there will be more things I do want, like get Edition T, like um, get my Edition T logo up and get their merchandise, and then everything will be for the organization. So the more stuff I have for the organization, the more fundraising we can do for it, and start helping out the people. If y'all don't know what I do help the abuse. I am trying to get the out of their abusive situations for a temporary safe location and get them the resources and the help they need, whether it's filing police reports, going to a lawyer, getting food stamps, getting Medicaid, anything like that they need help to do, um, on their own in a safe environment, then that's what we're here for. That's my goal. I do want to make connections with, you know, retired current police officers. I do want to make connections with um, lawyers and attorneys here locally, so that way we can help fight and put some bad people away. Like people shouldn't be abused. Um, elderly, children, women, men. Yes, men get abused. We can't forget the men. Yes, although us ladies were just like, why? But yes, unfortunately, men get abused. Actually, speaking of of being abused, let me tell you this story. My sister just told me yesterday while we're all together. She, one of her, I guess she's still friends with one of her exes. I don't know how many exes she's still friends with, but this one she's still friends with. He apparently, he has his stuff or whatever. He was out and about running errands or doing whatever. Well, um, apparently he calls my sister up saying, my sister does insurances, and things like that. So he calls my sister up saying, "Hey, I think I got into an accident. I think I hit somebody. I don't know what's going on," kind of thing, whatever, whatever. Well, apparently, I guess he was trying to pull into a parking space, so he's coming around the parking lot, getting ready to turn into that first parking space. Well, I guess you know how there's space in between the first spot and a curb, and sometimes you have bikes, motorcycles, things like that. That they think it's a parking spot because they're small enough to fit in, but it's really not a parking spot. But how often does anybody ever say anything, right? Or even care? So anyway, well, as he's already pulled up, so he's already past this motorcycle and everything, and all of a sudden, when he's getting ready to turn into the spot, he hears something, like, hit the back of the truck, but he thought he hit something from the back of the truck, and so he's like, "I hit something," And so he saw, like, a guy, laying on the car, the bike or whatever, and I'm just like, "Dude, how can you hit somebody from the back?" Like, like, that doesn't make sense. Usually, they hit you from their front to your back. It's not how you driving forward, how did you hit them? Like, it didn't make sense, but so I'm, like, letting my sister tell the story. I was like, "Okay, this sounds like a money grab to me," and she started laughing because sure enough, as she's continuing the stories, that the guy didn't wanna call the cops. The guy just wanted $50 in cash. The guy just wanted this, and then after, he left, the guy ended up calling a hit and run and things like that, so he basically was I'm like, "Dude, like, I saw this one coming from a mile away. Like, how did this fool?" But see, men get taken advantage of. Not all men are aware that there are criminals out there, and so, you know, they're gonna either, s naive guys like that kinda get taken advantage by men and women, and let's just say there are females who are willing to fight a man and pick on somebody that's so naive and so kind, 'cause, I mean, he gave him $50, like, he's like, "Is that what you need?" Like, he didn't know what else to do. It's like, "Why are you gonna go and give him $50?" And then whatever, but and then show that the guy that you had money, so he's obviously gonna ask for more, right? 'Cause then right after that, he was like, "I don't think this is enough." Like, then that's when I would've been like, "Okay, well, I think we need to get a cop involved," right? Like, please. And so, anyway, so I was like, "Whatever." So, but the fact of the matter is that guys do get taken advantage, guys do get, you know abused on, and so, therefore, we are well, here. If you're abused, we will receive the help that you would need to within our reasonable financial abilities and resource abilities. But, again, that's what we are here for, and that's what I am here for, so please hit the like and subscribe and share button, or go to any of the links, the QR code, the Cash App, or the link down below where you can donate lifestyles, BBLS, or you can purchase any of these products, and all the funds from the merchandise goes to Vivid Lifestyles BBLS. So yeah, so again, upcoming event will be July 19th at 2 o'clock from 2 to 5 at the Wiener Schnitzel here in San Antonio, Texas, off of Water's Edge. I will be making a current flyer, so hopefully, maybe not the next time, if I get on within the next year or 2. But, hopefully within the next couple of days, I will have the flyer ready for the new event up and, my Facebook and things like that. So, be ready. Okay, other than that, I am done, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's live. Thank you for being here with me, and don't forget, subscribe.